Salutations and greetings, people. Welcome to Sports Mania. We will be discussing and dissecting everything that happened Saturday night in Paris. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's get right into it.
Priceless gem!
Yes, hello. I'm your host for this evening, Abdullahi, and I'm joined by our lovely panel, as always. Spicing things up a little bit, not in the hot seat tonight, but he's still on the show. We're going to be hearing a lot more from him. It's Mr. Hubert. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. This is interesting, different, nice and different. It's
switched it up a little bit.
Just to keep people on their toes.
Exactly. Also, welcome back to the show, Johnny. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, thank you. I'm very well. Are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Back in the producer's chair. Still great. It's Austin. How you doing?
Yes. Hi guys, I'm back.
You don't sound thrilled about it, but okay.
Yeah,
we'll call Lottie. We'll get her back. It's fine. Lottie, if you're watching, come back. We need you.
I had a couple of shows
Now go on.
where I wasn't feeling too good and whatnot, so I just took a little break. But now I'm back.
Good. And as always, can't get rid of him. He's back like a rash. Clock in, George. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. You say that. I've not actually been on a Champions League show for a while because I've tried to stay away. I've tried.
You've tried.
But then I've
again.
Hong Kong Fury took part in Paris, so I'm not going to. It shows how messed up and busy I've been today because we've had this all planned that Abdi was going to host and all that, and then I'm thinking, where's the show's going on? I'm thinking, is Hubert going to talk or not? And then I forgot it was Abdi hosting.
Yeah.
And then he uses posh words like salutations. Who's he play for?
Yeah.
Big words.
That's
Follow the dictionary.
Very big words. Yeah, listen, I got the dictionary out. It's the word of the day. You know how it is. But it's fine. We'll get straight into it, and we're gonna talk about.
But on the bigger question.
All right. Yeah.
Abdi, how are you?
I'm good. I have been asked that. I've been well. I've been good. Yes. Good weekend, as we discussed Monday. Good show Monday. We're back again. This needed its own show because a lot of it we can't cover in that show that we done on Monday. We're gonna do a little block on Monday to talk about the UCL. We thought, cool, not much is gonna happen, but boy, were we wrong. Too much happened. Yeah,
it was a 2-hour show. In fact, it was a 2-hour show.
2 hours, 20 minutes. Actually.
Either way, this show might go 3. Who knows? Depending on how long we go on about it. But I want to dive straight into thoughts on the pre-match incidents. What went wrong exactly? Because Liverpool fans are being blamed by UEFA for delaying the kickoff because the kickoff Off got delayed by about 36 minutes on top of what it was supposed to be. Kicked off at 8:36 eventually, but there was instant outside of the ground where the Liverpool fans were put in this sort of alleyway that they had to come through. It was a checkpoint, and they were checking them individually to come into the concourse area, and it was sort of creating a bottleneck effect where it was just 20,000 Liverpool fans just stuck in this one section and getting into the concourse, and it all kicked off. So I want to get your thoughts on what happened. So George, starting off with you, what were your thoughts with everything that happened pre-match?
You
Oh,
go
what
with
a
the
start.
first person who don't. give
Yeah,
a
of
shit what
course.
He says and who he upsets. Right.
That's what I want to
So
out.
I just want to put this out there first of all. French police are fucking scumbags. I'm not sugarcoating that. We've known this for a very, very long time. I'm not a huge fan of Liverpool, but in this example, I don't think they're to be blamed at all. I just think it's an easy excuse to blame Liverpool from UEFA and the French police. Like I say, apparently they was prepared for hooligans. Well, last time I checked, an 8-year-old queuing up in the queue, getting sprayed with gas through a fence, isn't a football hooligan. I get what happened in Hillsborough and Heysel. Like if you really look into that as well, like that's not necessarily Liverpool fans' fault as much. Maybe more Heysel isn't than Hillsborough, maybe, but I don't know. I've heard it all, mate. Like I've heard the French Minister of Bullshit come out, or whatever. Is that what their position's called? Minister of Sport?
Yeah.
Come out and say, oh, it was the Liverpool fans, and we only had 3 months to plan for it. Fucking hell. Bloody hell, 3 months. It's not 3 days, is it? So, just don't give your head a wobble. I don't even know his name, so I'm not even going to try and insult him or offend him. But
It was a woman, if you're talking about the minister, sport minister.
Yeah, that's the case, isn't it? Right.
The woman.
It's a woman.
It's a woman,
She's
not a
geezer.
geezer.
Oh, is it? I thought it was a
Yeah.
bloke.
I think it's like Emily or something, or Emma or something. I don't know.
No, that wasn't the one I was on about. This was someone else then. Because
Ah.
their name definitely wasn't Emily. So it just baffles me. Like you say, the good, bad, and the ugly, and there was no good before that game. Like you had journalists standing in the queue trying to get in, saying they're getting sprayed. It's a joke. Like 2 hours, there was Liverpool fans. Like I know, not personally, but there was people in wheelchairs, registered blind supporters, kids standing in the queue, like they're trying to get into the stadium, and they're getting sprayed in the face. Like I saw a copper, a woman. This definitely was a woman. She was. There was a bloke standing there on his own, waiting to queue up, and she sprayed him right through the gate. He wasn't even doing nothing. So, but are we surprised, guys? That's the problem. Because I wasn't. You see what Marseille fans doing this season. So but what really gets to me is if this was England, or in England, we'd be kicked. Our ass would be kicked out of Europe already. But because it's everyone else, and we're meant to have these such terrible football hooligans and all that, like, I'm sorry, but these countries are worse than fucking. It's so. I'll just list a few before. Like,
I'm sorry to interject quickly, George. Sorry. Wait, before you continue, I want to interject quickly. The day after the Champions League final, I believe, Saint Etienne got relegated from Liga. Their fans stormed the pitch, throwing flares, attacking the players, storming everywhere, and they wanted to have a go at Liverpool fans. No, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Liverpool, but we're all English football fans at the end of the day, and
okay.
you know, it's okay. Yeah, that's exactly. But continue your point. I just wanted to add that.
Just quickly, because this is something I'm really passionate about. Austin, is there any comments?
No, There's no comments
Right,
at the
cool.
moment.
Well, I'll
We
carry
don't
on.
have anyone watching at the moment, but you know. So.
Well, I'll carry on. So, I'll list a few because it has been mentioned in the groups that things are getting worse recent years. So we've had Turkish fans stab Leeds fans in the last 20 years. We've had, as you've seen, Abdi, we've seen Napoli fans have their flares at the Emirates. We've seen, I think Chelsea fans have been done by people. We've seen Italian club fans throw urine over disabled fans of the English clubs. But England barge a few pathetic security guards out the way at the Euros, and oh no, they're so bad. They should be banned. They should be fined. Like, why are all these teams not being done? Why is Galatasaray still allowed to play in Europe? Why are St Etienne fans allowed to go on and attack their players? Like there was in the video, there's players screaming trying to get away. Dimitri Payet, when he played for Marseille, got a bottle launched at his head, and then everyone's and then because some dodgy scousers tried to take out Paddy Vieira, and Vieira's put him on his arse, and everyone's like, "Oh no,
you can't do that.
Vieira."
You can't do that. Yeah.
And it's disgusting. Like I've said, I'm not a Liverpool fan. When any other English team plays in Europe, I hope they get smashed, like on the pitch. But you have to give credit where it's. You have to be honest and say the way Liverpool fans were treated in Paris by the French police and UEFA is damn right disgusting and apprehensible. I'd love to see or know anyone who can defend that. Like, how can you defend a kid being tear gassed in the face? It don't make sense to me. Oh, it does make sense. It's France. And then even the Merseyside police, that the people they took out there even said it. Like, and then all this rubbish with there was all these 2,000 and whatever fake tickets. So there's only 2,000. But how do they know about that? Like they weren't even scanning tickets. So that's just a made up number for me.
Well, there's a big problem with that because the French police clearly can't do their maths.
Well, yeah. Well, they're not normal people, are they? To be fair, the French police. But my brother will tell you, Austin. So he went to Disneyland Paris when he was
16. 17.
Yeah, 16, 17, something like that. And they were carrying machine guns when they're walking around Disneyland Paris, unless they're going to shoot Mickey and Minnie Mouse.
What do you mean? What do you mean? The machine guns got pointed at me, Dad, and our younger brother because our younger brother was having a temper tantrum, so they pointed their guns directly at us.
Like a child.
Well, that's what I mean. But unless they're going to shoot Mickey and Minnie and Donald Duck, they're just so heavy-handed.
I was tempted to just go shoot.
Listen, with the French police, their first thought is to sort of, with large crowds, to keep them at bay.
They're pagans.
Yeah, no,
they're pagans.
It's more keep them at bay and keep them sort of from doing anything. So that's why they use the tear gas. I'm not defending them. I'm not defending them. I'm fully against what happened in Paris.
A bloke, I don't know if you saw it, Abdi. A bloke was holding his 4-year-old daughter in his arms, and he got done in the face.
And she did as well.
I've seen people covering their children's faces so they didn't get it.
I get what you're saying, but there has to be a thing if there's a place and a reason this is going to happen. So say you had a few Liverpool fans mouthing off, which I'm not going to sit here and say there probably wasn't. There probably was, but I will hold my hands up. If I was one of those fans in France and someone done that to me, or I had my kid, I'd be going fucking ape shit. I'd kick off. So with their behaviour, could have caused a massive riot or another disaster. But you know what these countries are like? They sugarcoat stuff to make it we was doing this to protect ourselves. No, you wasn't. You're just scum. There you go. There's my second point on it.
Thank you very much for that, George.
And if France
you-
are watching, up yours.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they
See
are.
you at the end.
Hubert, Hubert, I want to come. I want to come to you next.
And Italy are winning,
in
I
re-
think. Just to...
In regards to well, that's at Wembley, so I'm sure we have better security going on there at the moment.
I know. I'd have better security guards at McDonald's than the French police.
Probably, yeah. No, Hubert, I want to come to you quickly on the sort of the security or lack thereof security at the game, in terms of they only provided the Liverpool fans with 2 turnstiles or 2 gates, however you want to say. They only gave them
They
2
feel
turnstiles at the end. Y and Z. So if my maths is good, out of the alphabet, there's 26 letters. So there's about 24 other turnstiles that could have been used, or at least a little bit more to spread it out. But there was only about 20,000 tickets allocated to each of the fans in an 80,000 seat
That's correct.
stadium. I just want to get your thoughts on the lack of tickets getting spread out more and giving it to corporates, and then 1 and 2 on the security of them giving it to, or not giving it to, the lack of allowing fans to get into the stadium. Sorry.
Well, you mean
Got
the lack
out
of
there
allowing
eventually.
Liverpool fans to the stadium?
Liverpool fans,
because
yeah,
if you ask
basically.
Real Madrid fans how easy it was to get to the stadium, that was perfectly fine. You go to the other side, they had no problem at all. When it comes to security, you had people say, well, 70% of the tickets were fake. 20,000 apparently tickets were allocated. Apparently 2,800 were fake. The last
I
time
saw
checked-
15,000. I saw 15,000.
The last time I checked, either way, French police can't do maths. I think they need to start watching Countdown. If I was them,
Scotland are losing.
oh, good on, come on, Ukraine. I'm sorry, but the whole thing was an absolute shambles. At first, I was thinking, oh, Liverpool fans being Liverpool fans, this is always terrible. They're always oh no, they are the victim actually this time around. It's an absolute shambles. I don't believe the whole thing that the organization, we had only 3 months to organize things. Oh, diddums, you had 3 months to organize something. That's plenty of time for you to organize it, because at the end of the day, you can't tell me this takes in 3 months in this day and age in 2022. You can't organize something like this. How can you?
I mean, what exactly
you
have
cause
they
this?
actually got? What exactly have they got to do to set it up? Like,
How can you have thought that having
stadium.
2 gates,
Austin,
Y and
Austin,
Z,
one
for
second.
such a group of fans, you having 2 turnstiles for such a huge group of Liverpool fans? How can you think this is practical? Where's the practicality in this? There's no practical reasoning in there whatsoever. You did not think that having few gates more would make a little bit more sense. Now we're going to have 2 turnstiles, and if things get rowdy, we'll just pepper spray innocent kids and pregnant women because, well, we're French police. It's all fine.
Especially when most of the trouble was caused by the PSG under 10s.
Well, it was mostly the
That's-
French people the French
the
people
thing.
that were fine. It wasn't the Liverpool fans. It was the French people that were causing the chaos, jumping over gates. Liverpool fans were fine. The French people were jumping over the gates and all sorts. Then they weren't getting pepper sprayed.
Don't be silly.
That's what I wanted to get into. The gates were locked from Liverpool fans, so they couldn't even get into the stadium because the French police closed the gates on them, and they had to wait for hours on end in the heat and all that. And the game was getting close to
Liverpool fans
kick off.
being
And
late
they
as well.
weren't.
UEFA's shitty excuse. They weren't late at
They were
all.
too- 2 hours in the queue.
Don't worry, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. We'll get into that in a minute. But I just want to talk about the French hooligans, basically, or the locals that were around the
There's no
stadium
French
going around.
hooligans, it's all a myth.
The ultras.
Figment of your imagination.
No, but there were people getting pickpocketed and probably robbed, or people trying to get in
Gloss
and
over
cause trouble. Yeah, no, but that they were causing issues for the other fans. So I just want to get your thoughts on them trying to pin it all on the Liverpool fans, but their own locals and citizens of their country are the ones who are causing the trouble.
I would
there. So
reply
I
the
want to
French
ask you
admitting to be wrong.
exactly, Johnny. I want to get your thoughts on that.
On the French fans, yeah, I mean, it wasn't great, was it, with them coming?
They didn't even
so
seem
jumping-
like fans. Sorry, yeah, they just seemed like people were out there to cause trouble.
Chaos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they were 100%. I mean, you had fans jumping over French fans jumping over the fences, didn't you? And Liverpool fans were shouting at them to get down. That obviously didn't help with the situation. And I mean, as you mentioned, after the match, I mean, there was a lot of trouble after the match with sort of gangs setting upon fans leaving the stadiums on their way back to the stations. And I don't think, well, the French police seemed to attack the Liverpool fans at the start, but they didn't really seem to do too much to protect them after the game. So it was a bit shambolic with all of the French citizens, wasn't it? They didn't really cover themselves in glory for that, no.
No, they didn't.
So I'll go back to something that happened in Paris
Go on.
quickly. When Arsenal played Barcelona in 2006 in the final, after the game, Thierry Henry actually come out and said, if you're not a French fan, I'd recommend you don't come as an away fan to games like this. That was 2006, so that's... I think I'm a little bit better at maths than
16 years.
the French. So that's about 16 years ago.
Correct.
So
you should help the French police with their maths.
yeah, I'll tell you. So for Thierry Henry, and at that time, who's a proper legend, a French legend, probably at that time, well, I'd say at the time, one of the best players in the world, to come out and say that, and he's French, that rings alarm bells for me, and nothing's changed. Like, nothing at all. But if that happens over here, we're banned straight away. There won't be no investigation. UEFA won't be, we'll look into it. Can you imagine Sadiq Khan coming out and saying, we're going to do an investigation? Like, there wouldn't be none of that.
Well, you do raise an interesting point, because for the Euros, all the catastrophe that happened there was no UEFA investigation for that at Wembley.
No, we just got done.
Yeah, I mean, I think the FA had one, but I don't see why UEFA didn't do one for the Euros, and it'd be interesting to see if they do one for this catastrophe, won't it?
They have done
they
an
will.
independent, I'll put that in quotations, investigation.
That
launched
investigation will be over very
yeah.
quickly.
That investigation's probably done already.
Mm.
Right, they will not. They'll tick all the boxes. We looked into it, but no. Like it's
We looked into it, but you're too busy polishing our halo. Yeah,
like there's no chance. Like, in fact, the only chance I tell you what could happen is Liverpool could be done for it.
of course they will.
I would not be surprised if that happens. Like I saw. I know it's a bit irrelevant, but I saw apparently Richarlison got fined today. So apparently, when a flare was through on the pitch, he picked it up and threw it out of the ground, basically, or like away from the ground.
Yeah.
And he's been fined for that. Like, and one of our own Super Kev said, like, you're going down a dodgy road with that, and it's the same. Like, so, like, if I'm one of those fans, I'm being gassed in the fan. I'm not going to just stand there. Like, why? It's just. UEFA pick places for these finals to be, and if you're telling me they're not to do with money, then I'm the Pope.
Of course, it's to do with money. What else it would be with?
Well, I will say this. I know not to defend UEFA or anything, but it was originally supposed to be in St. Petersburg. We all know what happened in the situation over in Russia.
They probably would have been safer there.
Well,
no, I'm not even joking. Like that's
You
how
never know with
bad it
Russian
is.
fans.
I mean, the Russian ultras aren't as
I don't think there's much in it.
I
really don't.
Possibly, but
I've seen the
I
Russian
would
fans
say
at Euro
they-
2016, mate, in Stade de France. I think it was.
they probably could have chosen a better location. But hey,
Yeah. Anyway,
they did that.
Like,
I do want go on.
Syria would have been better than going there. Like the French police for me. I just can't.
They're too
I don't know if it's the
heavy-handed.
French police in general. It might just be French people because.
It's the French police. They hate the English.
Well, yeah, and this is the problem.
Yeah.
Everyone hates us.
don't-
We're like Millwall.
Don't worry, we'll get into that in a little bit more. I just want to quickly circle back and talk about the UEFA statement that they came out with, the bullshit one where they were saying the game has been delayed due to the late arrival of fans.
Oh, come on.
Austin, let's start off with you. Your thoughts on that bullshit excuse by UEFA, if you can. Talk.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
So first things first. Just a little thing away from Champions League real quick. Johnny Depp has just won his court case against Amber Heard. Well done.
Get
well
in.
done.
I couldn't
Come
watch
on,
it.
there you go.
Go on, Johnny.
Well deserved.
What's Johnny done? What?
He won the case against Amber Heard.
Oh, I thought
He
you
was
meant this
found-
Johnny.
No,
No.
No.
not this
Go on,
Johnny.
Johnny.
Unless
This
you've got a
Johnny. Well done,
Go on,
Johnny.
Johnny, go. Unless you've got a case
They,
against
I
Amber
was
Heard.
thinking
the jury-
cutting out. All I heard was Johnny.
The jury said had said that Amber Heard's claims were all false, and she's full of.
What's that got to do with the French
Sorry.
police?
Just some bit of news.
Austin
for the-
tried
for
to
the
turn to
public.
Hugh Edwards a little bit.
Anyway,
Yes.
back to topic. I
anyway.
asked you a question,
It
please.
was about
Back to topic.
Vardy and Rooney.
Back to
It's
topic.
different.
Back to topic. Right. So the claim that UEFA have made about Liverpool being late, and that's what caused the delay. Biggest
Sorry, it's
bullshit.
hours.
The biggest bullshit ever. Honestly. And like I said, they might as well sit on Amber Heard's length because they're just full of lies. Full of lies. I saw some videos, and Liverpool fans were there for like a good 2 hours before the game even kicked off.
Yeah.
Like, so how
You can go even further
It's
back
that
than that.
late.
They were there 3-4 hours.
Mm.
like there was a couple of Liverpool fans that got to Paris at about 6:30 in the morning, and like they walked about. I think like I said, he was walking for about. It took him an hour, 2 hours just to get to the actual stadium. Like, and there's also other videos of Liverpool fans literally around the corner from the stadium having a massive party and whatnot. Because obviously Liverpool did kind of take over Paris. Like,
No,
So
no,
you
no,
ain't-
no, no. I've got to stop you there. They did not take over Paris. No way.
they near enough did. There was 50,000
No.
in one spot.
I don't mean taking over Paris.
Right, but there was
If you mean-
50,000 of them in one spot, and then there was probably another like 20,000 somewhere else. Another this lot there. Like there was loads of them. There was loads.
That was a
of them.
great turnout.
Don't get
There
me
was
wrong.
a great
Yeah,
turnout.
but
from
no,
Liverpool
I'm
fans.
sorry.
So-
There's not 70,000 Liverpool fans in Paris because they don't even get 70 over it.
Anyway,
So
so
there was a lot of fans who went out there that actually did that were English fans.
they did have tickets.
No, but it doesn't. That don't matter. There was a lot of actual English fans that went out there in solidarity with Liverpool because they knew the trouble they're getting. So, because if you look on Twitter and stuff, a lot of the, in quote, hooligan / ultra of quite a few English clubs went out there because they
Yeah.
knew that there was going to be trouble. There was Manchester United fans out there. There was Arsenal. There was Chelsea.
Were there?
Yeah,
I didn't even see any of that. But
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the pictures I
So-
saw, I did see big streets filled with Liverpool fans. So,
that's because there's lots of bins.
all right, cool.
Anyway, so
Austin,
Yeah,
finish your
that's
point.
Made in France.
as I was saying, so UEFA claiming that the game was made because of Liverpool fans is a load of hoo-ha. At the end of the day, Liverpool fans were there in more than the actual modest time of getting to a match. They recommend to get to a match an hour before kickoff, roughly, didn't they? Like they were there 2-3 hours before kickoff, so they can't say that the game was delayed because of that. The game was delayed because of the French
Let's say what they
police's. The game was delayed because the French police were stupid. They did what they were doing. They lost control. They started pepper spraying innocent people, like poor kids getting pepper sprayed, poor old OAPs, old age pensioners, and things like that, all getting pepper sprayed because they can't control it. Well, if you can't control it, don't cause a thing where what makes you not being able to control it. At the end of the day, you have French police have traumatized so many people. The kids that got pepper sprayed are probably never going to forget that day. They're probably never going to forget that day. They probably went out
For the
to
wrong
Paris and they were going to
reasons.
have a good time. They were going to have a good time. They were going to be like, yes, I've seen my club in the Champions League final. No, they're coming home and telling their friends that they went out to Paris and they got pepper sprayed. They shouldn't have to come home with that. At the end of the day, the French
there's one
police
thing
were so.
One thing
I
I
heard
disagree with
bits and
Austin
bobs of
there
that,
is-
but
Your
go on,
line's a bit
George.
crackly there, mate.
the one thing I do
Sorry.
disagree with Austin there is that they were stupid and out of control. No, they wasn't. The French police were the French police. There was
That's what I
nothing to
said.
be out. control with. No, but you said they were stupid
No,
and
the-
lost control.
The
They never-
French police were out of control.
No, but
There was
you
no
said
control
that they
within them.
were stupid and lost control. They didn't, mate. That's what the French police do. There's nothing. You can't lose control in a situation that nothing's happening. All they were doing was standing there. The French, Hubert hit the nail on the head. The French police fucking hate England. So whoever it is, you could be Liverpool or you could be Lincoln City. It don't matter. Like that, you can't say, oh, it was out of control. So what, you're telling me all these kids and the elderly people and the disabled people made it out of control? Don't make me laugh. Like, so, and stupid means you make mistakes. That's not stupid because they do that all the time. How many times, guys, have we heard that Troubles kicked off in France? And that's just in their league. I get England can't say we're innocent because we're not. I know we have people that go out and cause trouble. I know we're invading pitches at the minute, but they're on a different level in France for me. Like, we've seen the game. Abdi, do you remember the game? Was it Marseille against someone? It was like WrestleMania happened.
Marseille against
I
Nice
know who you
earlier in
talk-
the season on our own
Yeah,
Sportsmania
I know,
page. We
but
put
they
out a
punch
video
up
because the
with
match got
everyone.
abandoned.
Yeah, so that's never
There
happened.
was that, and there was the Europa League game. I can't remember who they were playing. But they
Marseille
were playing
against Lyon,
someone.
wasn't it?
No, it was a Europa League game. They were
But
playing
like,
someone
like the saying
from
says,
abroad. It could have been a
It's like-
Turkish club. I think it was a Turkish
Yeah.
club.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
like the saying goes, don't throw stones at a glass house. Do you know what I mean? Like you're having a go at everyone else. Get your own house in order, mate. Like, and that's what I am really passionate about, and it makes me angry. Like it's not even like, because at the end of the day, like Austin said, I agree with. You should be able to go to a football game and not come back the way they've come back. Like, for example, we're all on here. So there's a high chance that. Oh, sorry, not you, Johnny, because you're in the championship. There's a high chance that most of
Poor
us
Johnny.
are going to play a French club this season in Europe. So, say any of us go away. I have asthma. If I get sprayed in the face, which is highly likely if we're going on that base,
I'll be killing people.
well, you can't, mate, because you'll be down. You won't be able to do nothing. So.
Yeah.
They're in they have riot gear, my friend.
Yeah,
so
mate.
you wouldn't be
Like,
able
no
to do
offense,
anything.
you're not Hercules or Ben Hur, so you wouldn't be able to do nothing. You'd be on the floor. They could do the same thing to you just for standing there. Abdi, they could do the same. If Hubert went, like, for me as a disabled supporter, I don't know about everyone else, but I'm intimidated by that. And people know that I mix with a lot
Never
of
want to go
crowds.
to France.
But why I should be able to go to France.
No, I mean, I never want to go to France to watch
But
a football
there's
game.
your,
That's what it's going to be
There's
like.
your
This is
there's
my
the
problem.
proof.
This is my point.
Yeah.
Why should any of us be saying, "Oh, I don't want to go there because I might get done in the face with"? We're all visually impaired. We couldn't see that coming. Like, I'm saying
Well,
Hubert, me or Abdi, like, and that ain't even I don't even mean it as a joke. Like, but honestly,
No, you literally wouldn't
it's
see
a
it coming.
worrying. No, but it's a worrying state. Like, for me, something has to be done. It won't be done because it's France and it's
I
not
think-
England.
I think the best bit I saw as well was like they pepper sprayed a Real Madrid fan, but it was a kid, so they pepper sprayed the kid and the kid's dad, and then after they realised that they pepper sprayed the kid, they started spraying something else directly into the kid's eyes. I don't know if it was something to deter the pepper spray.
But
you know,
they were doing
that's their
it
way-
with
that's their
as
way.
well. This is
That's their way of knowing. That's their way of knowing that the French police, they realise that, oh shit, what have we done? And they're quick trying to make it look like they didn't pepper spray a kid, so then that way they don't get any backlash. But at the end of the
No, but
day,
they
French
will,
police
though.
are wankers.
it's all excuses. It's not even. You can't even just choose that game as like this. It's all excuses.
It's previous games.
One
Like,
game of
no.
many.
It's been going on
Yeah.
for years. That's what I'm trying to
Wasn't
say.
it not
okay,
say
yeah.
Atletico Madrid in
Right.
the Europa League a few seasons ago?
But
This
it's not
happened
just
in
France.
Napoli.
So do you know what I mean? I don't want to just say it's just France because if you go through across
It's
the
not-
whole
yeah.
of Europe, there's quite a few countries that do it.
I'm-
Like you go, do you get what I mean? So
yeah,
I'm not
I just
on
want to because
agenda.
we're already talking
wanna
about. We're
read
already
that.
talking about. So I want to move
I want
on
to read
to
some comments out if that's okay.
go on, read some comments.
So Ryan H has put they treat all England fans as hooligans.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Uh,
I don't
so,
know why.
Tom said I was holding the pepper spray, keeping them out with a laugh. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, mate, we ain't got no
any
chance. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. He put JT, why have you got a Christmas tree in your hand? Because it's Christmas.
so that's
And
how
then
we
he,
can't hear the words he's saying. He sounds like Harry Kane with a stutter.
So, and then he said, "You don't want to be the Pope, George."
A bit late for that, if you get what I mean, Tom.
And then he put, "What's Johnny Wilkinson got to do French? Whoever Johnny Wilkinson is." And then he,
just you don't know Johnny Wilkinson is. That move on. What was?
and then he put, "I'd hit the John Cena intro and storm into the French police with a laugh." Faces.
Depends what intro, Tom.
Boom.
You can't see me.
Right,
now,
is that all the
Tom
comments?
sprayed me in the face.
That is all the comments.
So, yeah. All right. So now I want to well, we're already talking about it, but I want to go into more of it. English prejudice, basically. Let's call it how it is.
They hate us. We're like Millwall of Europe.
Essentially, no one likes us. No,
We have to
but
leave the EU
it-
just to get voted for in Eurovision.
essentially, no, they punished us for a while because of that. We just had a decent song, you know.
Yeah,
Shame
and then we
that
lost
it
to a
coincided with
sympathy vote.
shame it coincided with war going on in Ukraine. So you know,
That's the only reason they won it.
Anyway, I just want to get into more of the sort of English prejudice. We sort of touched on it, and George, you've mentioned a few instances in terms of what happened with the Leeds fans and Galatasaray. You know, Arsenal going to Paris and any other games. You know, United fans in Barcelona. It happens. You know, do we think this is sort of this, like, we're going to say it's just speculation where no allegations against UEFA or anything because we don't get sued or anything, just having a discussion, but do you think it's them trying to give us a bloody nose for what happened from the Euros last year?
Yeah, I don't think
Well,
I know it is.
Okay.
It's so obvious. There was it just goes back through the years, yeah, mate. Like when Platini was in charge of UEFA, or involved with UEFA, and it was Man United against Chelsea in a final. Don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah.
His words were, well, this will never happen again. Well, mate, so shut your
literally
shut your
no. They literally basically fuck Chelsea the next season from stopping it from happening.
It
should have been a rematch
the
the following season.
wasn't it?
Yeah, Barcelona should never have been in the Champions League final.
No.
Should have been a rematch.
That
from
happened, and then
Moscow.
We'll just go back briefly, and then I'll let other people talk because I've spoken quite far too much. Like you go to Turkey for Galatasaray, you walk through the airport. It's that first thing you say, "Welcome to hell." Oh yeah, nice and welcoming. That. In Turkey, you're allowed to stab people if it's below waist height, like that sort of thing. That's not a crime.
What?
So this is what happens when Galatasaray, because this happened. Like my own dad was in Galatasaray when this happened. Austin wasn't born. This was years when I was little. So there's Chelsea fans I know that went Galatasaray fan threw a chair through the window. Like that's just how they behave. Then you had Inter Milan and AC Milan fans throw bottles of piss over disabled British fans. But that's okay. Don't worry. We'll just let them play. I don't know if you remember all those years ago, Inter Milan versus AC Milan, the flare was thrown and they got kicked out of Europe. But when we've had flares thrown at us, don't worry about it. Then we'll go back to France. We all know what happens there. Well, we all know what happens there. Germany, same thing happens. So I do think there's an English prejudice. Like, we may have a chip on our shoulder now, but I think after the few years of stuff that's happened to us, I don't think it's I don't think we can blame ourselves really. Like Ryan said, like all English fans are treated as hooligans abroad. They are.
Mm.
Like there's no sugarcoating it. We could all go on a blind holiday to go and watch football, and they'd think we're hooligans.
Mm.
Like maybe the new Peaky Blinders, literally, or something like. Or like Daredevil and his crew. Like it's just ridiculous. But when we have Champions League or Europa League or Europa Conference League games over here, and you watch them do whatever they want to do, and then they'll be like, "Oh well, it was the Arsenal fans or the Man United fans. Don't worry, or the Chelsea fans." I don't know. I've said for about 20 years that UEFA hate England because of how, and it's jealousy because how successful our clubs are. Because no disrespect, all these other clubs are shit. If you take the English clubs out of the Champions League and stuff, they'd be finished. And final point, I do think it's still, I think they're still salty because of the Super League.
Well, to be fair, Real Madrid are the ones who are the ringleaders of that and who won the Champions League. So one year ago they were trying to run away. Now they won it.
If they could have helped it, believe me, I don't think they would have had it as Liverpool, Real Madrid. They wanted PSG in that final.
Probably.
And it didn't work for them. I think they wanted a PSG Man City final.
Mm. Well, the thing is, we'll get into Super League, UEFA, and their sort of new formatting of the Champions League over the summer, because that's going to be a show in itself that we're going to discuss.
UEFA, it's going to be shit.
Don't worry, we'll break it down. We'll break it down. But
I hate UEFA. Like I just think they've ruined everything.
I want to get Hubert's thoughts now. Hubert, I want to ask you: do you think people are still holding English fans to the certain standards that they were maybe 30, 40 years ago with how hooliganism was rife in this country as well? Do you think that reputation is still being labelled across English fans today?
I think the problem with these things is, yes, it is. I think a lot of people seem to forget the fact that times change. Some dinosaurs out there still think that times have not changed when they have. Yeah, okay. English fans certainly were hooligans at times, but now other countries have that problem. Let's be brutally honest here. You see an English fan, you can think, 40 years ago they were this, so this one must clearly be a hooligan. Let's attack him before they do it. Not going to happen. It's an absolute disgrace, to be honest. And if they are holding this whole Super League thing against us, I'm sorry. Do we want to? When do we want to talk about UEFA Super League starting in 2024? Shall we? Because that's exactly what it is.
Well, no, don't say that. That's called common sense.
I don't care. UEFA is what it is. Times have changed. English fans, we've got a chip on our shoulder. Sure, can you blame us?
Don't get me wrong. We have got hooligans. Like
every
Premier League club has hooligans.
The country I originate from. Ross Kemp did a documentary on our hooliganism, where I'm originally from. Are you going to tell? So Polish football has plenty of hooligans. You've got Legia Warsaw fans who came to Leicester and humiliated themselves as they always do. Are you going to tell me hooliganism exists everywhere? The problem is because it's in England, it gets pointed out a lot.
For example, I'll predict something now, and I'm no soothsayer or got my crystal ball.
All right, Nostradamus.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so England are playing Hungary on Saturday. Am I right?
It's going to be about that. Can someone please tell me the definition of behind closed doors if no one said this?
Behind closed doors, when I was at school, and I'm not the cleverest sandwich out of a picnic, but was that no one was there, fan-wise. So,
Mhm.
but apparently it's all right for the school kids to be there, the ones who racially abused last time. But I
As long as they
guarantee
can't
you,
be by
Oh
an adult.
yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
I
but I
remember that.
guarantee you that England England. I'm going to just say it blunt as it is. England black players will be racially abused on Saturday, and I'm saying this sitting down because this is going to be really, really shocking. Nothing to be done. You watch. But if that's the other way around, England fans racially abuse someone, you watch, right? Yeah, well, the world will end.
It'll
Boris
be
Johnson will be
unsurprising. People
back
kind
for
of go,
having
oh,
a
it's an English
party.
fans. They'll always do it.
Yeah, everything.
The frustrating thing is there will be racial abuse. Of course there will be. But what really hurts me, and I'm not even a black person, but it hurts me in general to see that when I see an English player being racially abused, I kind of go, oh yeah, it's not surprising.
I'd love
That's
to see
how
a
bad it
player
is.
slap them back. I really
That's
would.
how bad it is. The fact that racial abuse is no longer a surprise because it's an everyday thing. It's painful to admit.
That's what I mean. It falls
It's-
into what you said. It's not a surprise. And the trouble what English fans face in foreign countries isn't a surprise either. Like, everyone knows my hatred for them lot. But they've been, some of their lot, when they've gone abroad, the punch bags of Europe, like the way they've been treated. So it's just, I think that's the sad thing, and we shouldn't be having we shouldn't be having a conversation like on a fucking podcast show. It's we're reviewing the Champions League final. We ain't even touched the game yet. All
No.
it's been about is the
No,
ugly side of it, and
that's why I said the good, bad, the ugly, and we're
Hmm.
starting off with the ugly so we can get to the good
I
parts.
thought you were talking about
Yeah.
the panel, mate.
Oh, I considered making that about the panel, but I was like, nah,
Well, yeah,
I'm not like that.
The good, the bad, the ugly, and then Austin.
Austin.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Bless him. Oh, Robo
Love you,
in the
Austin.
corner.
Austin, do you have any comments?
Hang on. Hang on.
What's that, mate?
But
Tom-
It sounds like he's going to break into a Black Eyed Peas song.
Show me.
Tom,
Here's of Tom. What Tom said.
prejudice is horrendous. Jens Lehmann being sent off Nicholas allowed a goal. Racism will always be present in football and life in general. It will never go away. Fact.
A sad statement, sir. I agree with him.
it's not. You're never going to eradicate that.
Of what I've heard.
The only way you eradicate something like that is by educating
Shoot 'em
the
up.
young.
And even that
The
won't
youth.
work.
But then after the youth, I don't know, they'll become even
The
more
youth of
wild.
today still racially abuse people.
Oh,
That's
shoot
never going
'em
to
all.
change. The youth of today
'em all.
still provide
Now,
racial abuse. The keyboard
Johnny.
warriors are out there.
Let's come to you. There is keyboard
Yeah,
warriors.
sorry,
now.
Johnny.
Let's move away from a little bit of. Let's move away from a little bit of the French police and all that sort of stuff. I just want to talk about sort of the allocation of tickets within games like this and it being taken away from the fans. It was an 80,000 capacity stadium. Only 20,000. Only half of that was given to the actual fans. The rest of it was given corporate, whatever executives and all that. It is exactly like Wembley in that sense. What are your thoughts on this sort of ticket allocation and what could be done to sort of change this?
That Johnny's glad Watford ain't in the Champions League.
Wow.
It's never going to happen.
He'd kill for that.
Maybe
No,
in
poor
50
guy, don't
years'
break his
time
heart.
we'll be there.
Yeah. When you stop sacking the managers.
Yeah,
Sir.
well, we'll have to get
That's
to
like
the
saying
end
when you
before
stop
that
breathing.
happens. But back to your point about tickets. I mean, I guess it's just all about the manification of football, really, over the years. I mean, all the clubs want to bring in more and more revenue, and it's just kind of all pushed towards more corporate tickets from various sponsors. And obviously, UEFA, they probably don't exactly have the fairest way of dishing out tickets, do they? Their friends will end up with them, but it's kind of a big issue in football. It's all driven by money these days, and it's not
Nah, really?
fan-centered.
Money?
Yeah,
Where?
it's all money.
Surprised me that, mate.
I mean,
God, I'm sitting
I
down.
suppose
I
the
am.
interesting leagues to look at is kind of the Bundesliga, where they have sort of fan ownership of clubs, and it's a bit more inclusive there. But
I've learned something new today.
yeah, I mean, I think we just have a big problem in football. It's too much about money, not enough about the fans. And UEFA, well, you look at which cities get the football matches. It's never been a fair process, has it? Even with that bit. So I
One
don't
life,
really
man.
know what you can do with it, because the clubs want the money, so they kind of would go along with it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, it's tricky.
Where
The
would you
fans-
like to see the Champions League final then? If you were talking about cities, it
Vicarage
doesn't go very
Road.
nice.
Vicarage Road, Watford, yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? I could go
Too
with that.
small. Too small.
You
Where
would
would
know.
be an idea? I mean,
Denmark,
Denmark, yes, some of that hasn't held it. Maybe Norway,
Sweden.
that could be an interesting one.
They
Yeah,
give
back
those
in
kind of
Oslo.
locations the Europa League final. To be
Yeah,
fair,
but why
though.
not
I
Champions
don't know.
League?
They don't
Yeah.
give. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
They
yeah,
go.
sorry,
They
'cause
usually
there's
go
Like,
enough
to
for
the
money
big
in
example,
it.
how can
places.
like Budapest have got the Europa League this season coming up? How? They're full of racists.
That's gonna be safe. Yeah.
Like, I'm not being rude. Like, if my team gets to the final and I say, yeah, I'm going to bit of Budapest, that is going to be ridiculous.
Get
Because like,
life insurance beforehand.
no, so I was planning to go Baku one year, so can't be any worse than that.
Well, hey,
Whoa.
Like, but it's like
Be glad you
disgusting.
didn't.
Like, yeah. That was under Unai Emery. Yeah.
Good evening.
Anyway, so, but like Budapest, how can you have a European final there? Like, and I know it's not to
It's
do
a nice
just with
arena, to
race-
be fair.
Yeah, but they're full of racists.
Yeah.
There's no
But-
I
sugarcoating
suppose
it,
the
mate.
issue
There
we
are.
have is every country
There isn't.
Full of
There-
racist.
two would have
Well,
racists.
Every country has their races. So
Not that
so,
bad, mate. Bloody hell.
Well,
Like,
Hungary have history, especially
Yeah.
in recent years.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
they've
Yeah.
had to have games put behind closed doors and suspended
Ah,
because of
come
how
on, not behind closed
disgusting.
doors, is it?
Well, all right, but behind closed doors with the
Kids
community
and
service
appropriate
parades there, and like, but then like you go, it's not, and it's Johnny's got a really good point. It's not just it's football and money, because look, they're obviously playing the World Cup in Qatar for footballing reasons, aren't they?
No, it's a very, very
well,
good
that's
footballing
its own
destination.
separate thing. FIFA.
Like, but it's still, but it's still FIFA, UEFA, they're all the same. They're all blood money driven. Like,
Mm.
where was the last Champions League final? Not the one just gone before.
Porto.
Porto, yeah, but that was
Porto.
supposed to have been somewhere else.
It was
wasn't
supposed to be in Istanbul,
Well,
Yeah.
there you
So
go.
2020 was
Istanbul,
supposed to
where
be
they stand
Istanbul,
people.
and then afterwards it changed to Portugal again, I think,
Yeah, where they stab
or
people.
Germany. I don't know what it was.
It's in
they
Istanbul
moved
next
it.
And then
season.
afterwards,
Oh, great.
yeah, it is. And then last year was supposed to be Istanbul again, but then they had the COVID
they're
outbreak,
meant to be
so they
one in
moved it to
Ireland
Porto.
as well.
Short notice.
Like,
At one point, it's going to be Villa Park.
No,
Sorry?
the Super Cup or something. It was meant to be at Belfast
Oh.
or Dublin,
It
wasn't it?
was last
Yeah.
season's Chelsea
Mhm.
Villarreal
Yeah.
was in Belfast.
Yeah, but they moved it there from
No.
somewhere.
Oh, did they move it from somewhere
I
else?
They
don't know
moved
if
it to
it's
Istanbul, I think.
I don't know if it's been
Yeah.
mentioned, but Ukraine are now winning 2-0.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know the score, but like I do agree with Johnny. Like the places, it's not given them footballing reasons. Like
Never has been.
I don't know. Like could they do a thing like whoever wins it, that country host it, like they do with a. I know.
Well,
that,
just
would be
Spain,
quite
wouldn't
good.
it?
like I know you could have it in different parts of
I
Spain.
don't know,
Madrid done what they
I
do.
like it when. That's the thing, but I do like where it's touring and it goes to different places, because you don't want to see it just be in the same place over and over.
Yeah,
and
but
over,
not in
you know.
racist countries.
Give it a bit of a rotating cast. It flips.
I mean, the
Next
interesting
year
thing
they're
about
in
racist
Istanbul,
countries
so
is how do you
or
judge
Champions
with-
League is.
are you judging? I mean, our country has racist people in it, and so does Hungary. So how do you differentiate between the two?
I think there's a
Hmm.
hell of a lot more racist behaviour in Hungary than most European places.
That is true, yeah, but
Like-
it's kind of one of those things, isn't it? Where I suppose you could exclude countries where it's really bad, but then if you've done that, then who's next?
have it in
on the
Wales.
list?
All they
Yeah.
have is
They
sheep.
did have it in Wales.
They did,
They
in
did.
Cardiff,
Cardiff,
yeah. Yeah.
2017.
All they do is have sheep, so it's fine. They're not going to cause any problems, are they?
They move about. They've had it in Milan. They've had it in Athens. They've had it in
Baku, Budapest.
Kiev. Well, that's the Europa League. Europa League.
Afghanistan, maybe next. Why not? Just throw it in there.
Wembley is coming up. Munich is coming up.
Kiev
yeah.
will be next year, probably. No, why not? Just
Kiev
throw
is
it anywhere.
2018.
Who else?
But-
Iraq, go there if they want.
Right. But let's get back on track in terms of Champions League final itself.
Talk about
I forgot about that.
game.
I think
a
we're
game?
just going to leave the. Yeah, there was a game. I think we're just going to leave the pre-match stuff now because we've spoken about it for almost an hour now.
mate.
So now time to talk about the bad. We're talking about the ugly. Now time to talk about the bad. And the bad was, well, it depends how you look at it. It was okay. The Camila Cabello performance. What on earth was this about? You know,
Not needed.
was it necessary?
No.
Well, I want to go to
yes.
Hubert first because you're Mr. Super Bowl, you know, Mr. NFL. They're trying to Americanize the Champions League football and bring in these stuff that they do over in America and make it more commercial driven. But the average football fan doesn't want to kind of see this stuff, and it was shown because of the Liverpool fans chanting very loudly. You could hear them in the background over there. I think they had to try and turn down the crowd mics because they'll be that loud. But just you're forcing them trying to commercialize football and trying to turn it into the Super Bowl, the Champions League final. They have been doing it for the past couple of years with other performances before games. But yeah, you're forcing this.
Well, it brings us back to the famous word mentioned by pretty much everyone on here, and it's the M word. No, I'm not talking
Man
about.
United.
No, I'm not talking about that.
No, we're not talking about them.
No. But I'm talking about money, of course. It brings in money. It brings in the green, brings in the cash. It's everything. Brings in the bill. The problem. This is the typical problem. Personally, it's a simple fact as. Can someone please remember, we are not the NFL. The Super League idea was originally kind of an NFL style, ring-locked kind of league. We're not the NFL. We can't replicate it in this country because people don't give a damn. You know, the NFL format works for this. No one wants to hear a musical performance before the Champions League final. But no, it doesn't matter what people want because it matters what brings them more money in. Football is a more money-orientated game year by year.
Who's son before the game? Because I didn't see
Camila
it.
Cabello.
Camila Cabello.
Is she the one who sings
really,
that? Na, 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 na,
That
na.
Yeah,
one, yes.
Yeah, really
That's
fit
what
one.
I'd have been singing. Na, 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 na,
Really
na,
fit.
piss off.
The problem is, okay, fair enough. It was a showpiece. Okay, but it wasn't a necessary one. It never has been until they realized that actually this brings in quite a bit of money. So we're going to add that in. Whether it's good for the fans or not, that's a different
That's
story.
what
But it brings in money.
I would say
cash.
it was made worse by the fact that the events before it, with the delay to the game and the fans being delayed getting into the ground and being pepper sprayed, did they really want to see this after that?
Well, they
Yes.
probably just went, we can't give them the game at the moment, so let's give them Camila, you
I
know.
wouldn't want to see it before I was pepper sprayed.
I just don't personally think it's
There was-
necessary,
there
but
was
it brings
many
in the
young
money.
boys.
It's football's becoming the cash cow of everything, as
There's
always.
many what?
There was many young boys at that Champions League match that were proper
What were they doing? They weren't playing.
thinking. Yeah, they were proper thinking about Camila Cabello and thinking, cool.
Mate, a lot of people think about
Right,
Camila
it's
Cabello,
not that
that's
kind
not
of
the
page.
point.
Why were
but
young
yeah.
boys there?
That's not the
They're
point.
from Switzerland.
No, that's
Got that, boys.
Anywho,
That's not
it's money.
I wouldn't say
It always
that
is.
to her.
No,
it
that's not the
is
point of
money,
this
it is
show, though,
money.
Austin.
I definitely would. If she was in a concert at an Arsenal game at the Emirates, I'd be saying, hell no, get off.
But yeah, my point simply is that it's another reason, as if we needed more reasons to say that football was more money orientated by the year.
We'll be breaking in quarters next.
Oh no.
We will. But they are trying to change the game and reduce it in terms of the amount of
tried to
time. I
increase
think
the
they want to try and
halftime
cut it
break.
down to
The financial commodity now. Isn't
not
it?
even that. They want to cut down the actual overall time to have like a
Yeah.
60-minute clock, two halves like 30 minutes. So they cut down time wasting and trim the match down. But
People can still
Um,
time waste, believe it or not.
Stand in the queue at the end.
not unless it's like an actual moving clock where it's just they stop it and then it just whatever you waste is just added on anyway. I don't know.
Have you seen the refs this season?
I
Mate?
don't know. But the actual
The amount of time wasting they've done, like teams, they don't add that on, really.
It's not going to work. Like they tried to increase the halftime break from 15 to 25 minutes just so they can put in, I don't know, like, some singer at halftime because when
The-
people want to
the
get
kind
their
of
pies and
performances,
side
yeah,
and
like the
ciders,
Lakers.
no one's going to care.
Just come here to play out.
No.
But after the game, she wasn't too happy because she went on a run on Twitter and she was like,
Well, she's a Liverpool fan.
well, me and my team, no, she was like, me and my team worked tirelessly and hard on that performance, and the fans decided to sing their team's anthems so loudly and all that, and she was upset about this. And she was like, yeah,
Expect they
I
went
was
there to
like-
watch their club, not
I
you.
was exactly. I was
Offense.
thinking this is probably the most unwanted performance in the history of anything, pretty much,
It's not even that.
especially after what
Why
happened.
should-
But
Why is she complaining anyway when she's getting paid? Shut up.
I'd have loved to have seen
She-
that tweet
she-
because I would have wrote in the tweet. So I would have no.
she deleted it. She deleted it. But she changed it afterwards, and she was like, "Yeah, thank you, Champions League, and all this stuff." But it just shows, anyway, that
Stupid
it
cunt.
isn't necessary to have these performances. They're not really needed. We're not Americans. We're not all about that concert life. We just want to
It
see our
brings in
football.
money, Abdi.
And it
I
does.
love
Does
it. I
it?
don't
Does it
like it.
really
I
though?
like-
It does.
Like people are already there. They have to fork out the money to bring her there.
But I like the entertainment before match.
I don't know.
I just don't agree with
All right.
singers and football. I just
It
can't.
doesn't make sense. It doesn't need to be there.
If they were playing a football related song,
Well,
fair enough. Say for example, like World Cup, if it was something like waving flags or Shakira's "It's Time for Whatever," do you know what I mean? If it was something like singing,
If it was a song
for
actually created for the event itself, then that
the
makes
event
sense.
itself, then fair enough.
No,
If it was, Danny Dyer and Will Weller singing Vindaloo at the England game, then fair enough,
no
Even then,
singing.
Abdi.
I go to watch football. If I want to hear singing, I watch X Factor.
You can't watch X Factor, it's not on.
Well, exactly. So that's how important it is. I go to watch football. I don't go to watch The Voice or the X Factor or Britain's Got Talent. Like,
Yeah, Brentford.
right. Let's move things on. Is there any comments, by the way, before we move on?
Only one from Tom's letting us know that Ukraine are now 2-0.
yeah,
All right,
Ukraine
cool.
will win that.
Um,
Everyone feels sorry for them. It's fine.
They'll be in Group B. No,
Even the
Wales.
Scotland
I'm
team.
sorry.
They'll get the easiest group and everything.
Easiest group. They're in
So
our
if
group.
you-
Yeah, exactly.
they're in our group.
Yes.
Anyway, I want to ask you. I wanted to mention the funny side of the what everything happened over the Champions League weekend, and that's
Richard.
to do. Yep, to do with the Everton fans. They set up a coach company called Coach Innovations, I believe, and they tricked Liverpool fans into booking tickets for a coach that would take them to Paris for the Champions League final. And the driver's name was called Richard Arlison. And then afterwards, Liverpool fans were fuming when Mr. Richard Arlison didn't show up to drive them to Paris.
I'm
You know?
first
Right, it
about
showed
that.
up most
How
of
did
most
they
of the
fall for
season.
that? How
How dare he not turn up,
that?
Richarlison?
How
Sorry, Richard.
dare
Arlison.
he? I
You don't have to-
honestly,
you have to be thick, surely.
They
yeah.
are if they believe this. Come
I
on,
know,
Richard
no,
Arlison.
Richard
Come on.
Arlison.
Wait, little back into this. Liverpool didn't actually know
Austin, I didn't hear
the
that.
owner's name was.
Austin,
No, I
your
can
line's
hear you,
crackling, mate.
So,
No, I can't hear you.
hello.
No, you're really
Your
bad.
line,
You've-
mate.
You've
Your
got
line's
so
crackling.
well. But Richard Arlison, it's not
How-
hard. Like
How
it's
can
not
people believe
hold on.
that?
Everton striker.
Literally,
Richarlison.
it clicks in your head.
Richard
Take
Arlison.
the D.
I bet there were Scousers there sitting there going, Richard Arneson. Where have I heard that name?
No,
Richard,
no, but the thing is, George,
where have I heard
The
that?
thing
Oh,
is-
him, yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
The thing is, so none of the Liverpool fans actually knew that the ownership of the company was Richard Arnold.
They did
It was
know.
only until someone.
They
It was
knew
only
who
until someone
the
went.
driver was.
It was only until someone went onto the government website, searched up the company, and it came up with Rich Arneson as director of the company, and that's when it all went viral and whatnot. Yeah,
It's still stupid.
it is still stupid. Like,
Anyway, there's the picture, an infamous picture now of Richarlison in a bus driver's jacket driving a bus.
He does
So,
part the bus where he plays for Everton, I suppose. So.
Oh, that's Everton. He's mainly on the floor. But I will clap Everton fans because kudos on that absolute 10 out of 10 shithousery, because that is next level and that's
Show the
brutal.
thickness
There's a
of some
bunch-
fans.
A bunch of Liverpool fans couldn't go to the Champions League final and had to stay at home. So
At least they
bet.
didn't get
Yes.
like, done in the face. So the
Yeah,
defence are lucky.
yeah, consider themselves lucky. But now let's get straight into the game, because
There's a game.
yeah, there was a game.
okay.
There was a game, and it was a beautiful game because Real Madrid, champions of Europe, for a 14th time. Oh, is that the picture of Richarlison?
Yes. Richardson in the bus driver's seat.
For the game, I thought it was so boring.
It
It was a boring
was.
game.
it was. It wasn't the most inspiring and thrilling game, I would admit. Liverpool were probably the more dominant team. I think it's fair to say that. But I want to dive into the first goal, the Benzema goal. That didn't count. Onside, offside. George, I know you had a lot to think about this and talk and have a lot of say on this. So your thoughts on, was it onside? Was it offside?
When I first heard it, I thought, because when I used to play football and listen to football and go, if the ball hits your defender and the other striker goes through and scores, he plays him onside. That's what I thought. But then the wonderful VAR, no, we won't have none of this.
No.
No one can hear you, mate. You're stuttering.
I'll
in-
cry out loud. I give up. I sound like Harry Kane.
So, but then I was hearing different aspects of it. If he's intentionally tried to clear the ball, then he does play him on. But if he hasn't, then it's just one of those things. Personally, I think they should have just given the goal. I think Real Madrid were quite hard done by it, but then obviously as game went on, it didn't really matter. But bless you.
Thank you. Oh, you heard that?
Austin's allergic to VAR. It baffles me, and that's why fans struggle with VAR. So I think, and it isn't VAR; it's the useless pieces of people that deal with the VAR. Shut up, Trigger.
A contributor.
If you're saying, do I think, like watching it back, do I think it should have been a goal? Yeah, I still think it should have been a goal.
All right, Johnny, your thoughts on, was it the goal? Was that a goal or not a goal for Benzema? Should have stood. VAR intervening once again. Yeah, your thoughts?
Well, I suppose if VAR is supposed to intervene for when a goal's scored, and if they followed the rules of the game to the letter of the law, I suppose it shouldn't stand, but perhaps they should change the laws. I mean, it's one of those ones that's quite difficult to understand if you're following it as a fan at home, but they don't tend to happen that often. So it's normally not an issue. I mean, I think there was a similar one, wasn't there, a couple of seasons ago with the Man City goal? I don't know if you remember. It was something odd with the offside rule where it bounced off the player as well. I don't know if any of you remember that one.
I think you're talking. Was it against Villa?
I think so, yeah.
When I think it was to do with, was it Mings or something? and it bounced off Mings, or I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of these
I've-
ones where the offside rule's very
Yeah,
complicated.
yeah.
And nobody really seems to understand it unless you studied the rules in depth. But
Listen, who's that? Who's that?
who's what?
Who joined?
Me.
Okay, okay. I was like,
Oh.
who's that? You sound a bit better.
Okay.
You made me lose my train of thought. What was I saying?
We're talking
What's
about
that?
the rules, Man City
Yeah.
Villa game.
Yeah, no. When rules become too complicated for people to not understand, it shouldn't be a rule. I think it should be simple, and everyone can just be like, "That's offside. That's onside. This is how it is. That's how it should be." Just a set, just like that, and then there should, because
Mm.
you always get these deliberations and confusions. Hubert, I just want to come to you. Your thoughts on should rules be more simplistic in terms of
course
what's
they should.
offside, what's onside? Because we always fall into these grey areas. It should sort of be. Do you think it should
I
just be
just
black
want
and
to
white?
back in a sec because I'm going to have
Go
to
on.
go because something's come up with my phone and my phone's about to over explode apparently. So
Oh,
enjoy
I've
the
had
rest
that.
of the show, and if it calms down, I'll come back on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So
cool.
Okay.
if you want to disappear too.
All right then.
Bye bye.
Cheers,
Right.
mate.
Cheers.
See you later.
It's a simple one. What's happened to rules being simple in football is an absolute diabolical. I was sitting there I was sitting there watching this game with a fan who clearly have not seen how VAR works.
Yeah.
They were shocked how long it took for VAR to make a decision. I'm used to it taking 5 years. It's perfectly fine. But then,
Not in the
We-
Champions League though. I'm used to it being a bit more snappier in Champions League.
yeah, but it's VAR. It's going to take 5 years sometimes. Anyway,
Yeah.
I was sitting there, and then I was saying, no, this goal's questionable. I would have given that goal. They made a wrong decision. And the person I was watching with said, well, it's VAR. Surely it must be right.
Mm.
No. I think that should have been given as a goal. I'm not saying it was a obvious decision, granted, but
Yeah.
that should have been a
Yeah.
goal. But the fact that every single time we're kind of going, I'm not really sure if this is the right decision. I don't really understand this whole thing nowadays because it's so complicated.
Mm.
Who's that help? It doesn't help anyone to make these things so complicated. The rules are so overcomplicated these days. It's making what should be a simple game an absolute nightmare to work out legalities and the do's and the don'ts.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, they've
and
had that with
that's the
the
thing.
handball rule.
Oh, the handball.
Yeah.
Some
How many
the
times did
mo-
I change?
the most popular phrase I always use with that rule is, "Where else is he supposed to put his fucking arm?" Because you sometimes do wonder.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it was the Real Madrid.
Kind of, you
Man
make a good
City
case for
game,
detachable
it's a
arms or a
penalty.
straitjacket on the pitch.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a penalty in the Real Madrid Man City game. I think it was Laporte who gave away the handball. I didn't really think that was one, to be honest. But I suppose they can only follow the rules that are there on paper, can't they? So
Abdi?
Sorry, I cut out. Sorry, I cut out, so I didn't hear what he said. Sorry, Johnny.
I thought
Um,
that was live playing.
no,
I was
no,
saying,
my
it-
thing buffered, and then I
the
was
host
like,
has left, and I was going to have to take over.
no.
Yeah.
It's-
I thought,
Austin.
Yes.
Your thoughts on the Benzema goal, on an offside goal? Are you confused? Did you know what was going on?
I'll be very quick and brief about it, because time is getting on. And but yeah, no, I was confused because
So was everyone else. You weren't alone.
you know, yeah, like, from what I've heard, I'm not alone at all. Really, it was a confusing one because was it offside or was it not offside? That's the question, And to me, I don't like Liverpool, but I have to be fair and square, and I will probably, if I'm rewatching it over and over again, I feel like it was offside, but by the littlest margin. You know what I mean? So, but because the thing is, I put a bet down for that game for it to go to penalties, and when it was 0-0, and it was like, oh yeah, it's going to go to penalties, blah blah blah, and then that one goal came in for Real Madrid, and I thought, you lucky bastards. You get what I mean? Like,
Mm.
I think that's what 14 now that they've won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14 Champions
Mhm.
Leagues they've won. You know, and did they deserve to win Champions League final this season? Yes,
Hands
they
down.
did.
Hands down.
Yes, they did, hands down. But they only won it by a margin.
It doesn't matter. They
Doesn't
won
That
it.
matter.
doesn't
They
matter.
deserve
They
it.
won the game.
Obviously, they won it. So, but yeah,
To
no,
quote
they did
Jurgen
win
Klopp,
it.
they scored a goal. Liverpool didn't.
Well, yeah.
The funny thing
exactly.
is, a lot of people didn't have Real Madrid as their favourites. Real Madrid was
Mm.
probably fifth, sixth down the line, or whatever it was. Do you know the
Mm.
funny thing is? Do you know who was above them? PSG was above them, beaten.
Man City,
Chelsea was above them,
Liverpool, Chelsea.
beaten. Man
Yeah.
City was above them, beaten. Liverpool was above them, beaten. They beat
Beat
the
'em.
four favourites for the final
Yeah.
to win it, and knocked them all
Mm.
out. They beat them all.
Yeah.
They beat
Whereas
them all.
Liverpool played Inter Milan, Benfica,
So-
and Villarreal.
Yeah, so
I'd
hands
say
down, they
it's
deserve to win
it's
it.
one of the more iconic roads to win a Champions League playoff. I would say probably the most iconic, but it's
It's
up
one
there.
of them.
There was also that thing of obviously they were like, oh, if Ronaldo leaves, Real Madrid won't be as good as they would be. Like if Ronaldo was still there and all that. What the bollocks? You know, Real Madrid doesn't revolve around Ronaldo. It revolves around the other players, Benzema, Modric, players like that. You know what I mean?
All winning their
Right.
fifth Champions League as well.
Exactly. You know, and it just goes to show Ronaldo wasn't a key part of Real Madrid. He was a
was,
key part of Real
definitely.
It
Madrid.
was at the time.
was
a
When he
key
was there,
part.
he was.
He was at the time. He was a real part of Real Madrid. But it just goes to show that they don't need Ronaldo to win Champions Leagues. You know what I mean? Real Madrid is a brilliant team. Like you said, they beat the top four people that people thought, top four clubs that people thought were going to win the Champions League and whatnot. They beat them all. So hands down, they deserve to win that match. Hands down, they deserve to win Champions League. But it was literally by one goal.
It doesn't
That's the
matter.
only thing I've. But it doesn't matter.
Well,
It doesn't matter.
One
It doesn't
shot,
matter.
one
It
goal.
was
It makes
by
no
Target,
difference whether
one
it was
goal.
by 1 goal or 2 goals.
Yeah.
It was a win.
It was by one goal that
It
was
was.
very
And it-
controversial. I think the word I'm looking for here is one goal that was very controversial. Like,
what
was it
was
this?
the controversial goal? What was the controversial goal?
The one obviously where you said obviously everyone was confused about it. You know,
Yeah,
that
but
wasn't given
that
to-
wasn't the deciding factor.
Yeah,
It
that
wasn't given.
It was
The winning goal itself was not
The win-
controversial.
No,
Oh, right,
I
okay.
mean,
Vinicius-
some people would
Some
debate
people
a little
could
bit,
argue
but
every goal was
I
controversial,
don't
but
think so. It was fine.
Vinicius
Vinicius
Junior just
won it.
did what you have to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Sorry, my mistake.
But I want to move the conversation on a little bit. Hubert, your former man, Thibaut Courtois,
The
in
man,
inspired form, absolutely could not get past him. He was moving like he was Dr. Octopus with 8 arms, just going bang, 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 saving it all, you know?
man of the match.
Hands
That-
down, man of the
That
match.
man did did stuff did some magical stuff on that pitch. He was the player. If he wasn't the keeper he was, Liverpool probably could have won that game. He kept Real Madrid in that game as much as that goal did from Vinicius Junior. Some of the stuff that Courtois did, I didn't even see him do at Chelsea. The man's a legend. The man's a legend. He deserves respect, regardless of how he left Chelsea, in what manner. Respect the man because he's talented, and he said himself he wants respect. And do you know what? Rightfully so, because what he's done deserves plenty of respect on that pitch. Not many goalkeepers would have acted the way he did. He made some great saves. The tactics he had, you could not argue he won the champ. That man should have lifted the Champions League trophy and kept it.
Probably. But we did have a photo of him with the Champions League trophy on top of his head, with his big hands grasping it, and doing his thing.
Can't blame him. Make the most of it because he deserved it.
Couldn't blame it at all. Johnny, your thoughts on Thibaut Courtois? He absolutely. No one saw it coming, pretty much. I feel like people, when they say top 5 goalkeepers in the world right now, Thibaut Courtois wouldn't really be one of the names that comes to mind.
People would forget about him.
So yeah, just your thoughts on his performance.
I mean, well, obviously in the final, it was a very, very good performance. I mean, there was that moment where Salah was going through and he came out and made himself big, and that was one of the crucial moments, wasn't it? And he stopped that. I think he saved it with his hand, that one. And I think there was a Sadio Mane save, which he did with his fingertips. That was also very impressive.
Just right onto the post. Before it hit the post, he was the one who actually got a touch onto it.
And I mean, even if you look further back in the Champions League competition, I think there was a good save with his stud from Jack Grealish in the Man City game. So that was another impressive moment from him. And I mean, perhaps whether you would say he's the best keeper with his feet, possibly not. But Real Madrid don't necessarily need that with the quality of players they've got in front of him. Because I mean, if you look at the rest of the defensive line, you've got Alaba, he's very good. You've got Modric, Cruz. So perhaps you don't need a keeper who's so good with his feet when you've got such quality on the pitch anyway. And if you compare him to his days at Chelsea, I don't know if you would say you ever saw the best of him at Chelsea or not. I mean, Hubert would know more, but
he had his moments, but I've not seen this at Real Madrid, at Chelsea, what he did at Real Madrid.
Yeah,
and to be fair, he had a shaky first start at Real Madrid with his first season there.
Most of the few seasons he had, he wasn't that impressive. He didn't start. He wasn't a regular keeper even.
Very stuttery.
Yeah, he just seems to have really
had
stepped
Keylor
up
Navas
this year.
mostly. I think it was. Yeah.
That's why I don't think people see him as a top goalkeeper, because I mean, he's a very, very good goalkeeper, and obviously this has cemented him as a very good goalkeeper, but I don't think he necessarily has the history to back it up.
No, but when he turned up when he had to, he turned up when he counted the most.
Yeah, and that's probably all that matters.
Well, that's all that matters in the final. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Austin, do you have any comments briefly?
No comment.
No comments. All right. Cool. Well, Real Madrid, number 14, secured. Don Carlo. Hala Madrid. Don Carlo with number 4. 2 with Real Madrid, 2 with AC Milan, and 2 with AC Milan again as a player. 6 Champions League medals to his name. An absolute goat of the game. Now you got to put him up there for one of the best. If Cristiano Ronaldo is Mr. Champions League, Carlo Ancelotti is Mr. Champions League for the managers.
So is Don Carlo.
Don Carlo, exactly. You got to put him in there as well. I want to point to a comment that Michael Owen said after the game. He was spewing his little diatribe of saying Liverpool are still the best team in the world and all this and that.
In what way?
The best team in the world. They didn't win the Premier League. They didn't win the Champions League. Their quadruple dreams or their quad hopes tore apart quicker than Vince McMahon's at the Royal Rumble in 2005. So, listen, if you're telling me winning a Carabao Cup and FA Cup in a season makes you the best team in the world, then Arsenal 1993 deserves some respect. People, put your hands together for Arsenal 1993 because they deserve some respect too. Because they're all the best team in the world.
Well,
no. What was that, Johnny?
I was just saying, I don't think these two teams are really comparable, are they? To be honest, I mean,
achievement-wise, they did the same thing. They did the same thing.
Real Madrid won the Champions League 14 times.
They do the same.
Liverpool won it 6.
Real Madrid have won double the amount of the Champions League from the next person,
you should consider as one of the best teams in the world. Real Madrid should be that.
Well, I mean, Liverpool. I'll credit Liverpool. They've had a great season in terms of performance-wise, but when it came down to it, Man City were just that much better than them. And in the Champions League final, they just ran into the goats of the game, basically. The kings of Europe, the guys who know the real mentality monsters, the guys who know how to get it done year after year after year. They've done this 5 Champions League trophies in 8 seasons. Since 2014, they've won it 5 times. And there was a stretch of 3 in a row as well. No other team has done that since Bayern Munich in the 70s, the real mentality monsters are there.
But
So
are they all
yeah.
that?
Are they all that? No, they're not. I was literally just saying Arsenal 1993 are on the same level in terms of achievement wise. You know,
That was the year I was born.
it was, wasn't it? It was.
Good year, though.
Georgie boy, your thoughts on Liverpool and their quad hopes tearing up like Vincent McMahon at the Royal Rumble in
So-
2005.
I was just while I was charging my phone, I was watching my friend Liam's show, and at the same time I was watching this one, and someone put a comment in here, which is it's probably got to be the comment of the day or the season I've heard. Liverpool's quad turned into a bike.
It did.
They did actually.
So
It literally did.
Good one.
yeah, I'm going to back myself the whole way. I've always said if they didn't win the Premier League and Champions League, it's a failure. I hear a lot of teams saying throwing the word bottle around. Well, Liverpool bottled it. They had a chance
Liverpool
to win.
always bottle it. Liverpool. No one likes Liverpool.
Not always.
Not always.
Liverpool. I
They
don't
throw
like Liverpool.
bottles.
So.
That's about it.
Yeah.
They don't
But
say that
Liverpool.
bottle, but I don't know. Like everyone was saying about their quad. Like I didn't think that. I was thinking I was one of the people that said Real Madrid. I was hoping Liverpool wouldn't win. And Courtois come out of that game like the Courtois he was when he was at Chelsea, really.
Sort of. I don't think we
I'd say
saw
better
that.
than
That type. Yeah.
But he come out and
That
said
kind
that
of
a
level.
lot of people have criticised him because they wanted to prove and run on the biggest stage. So
Exactly.
fair play to him. The thing that makes me laugh is Gareth Bale gets a Champions League medal for playing golf.
Without doing anything. So does Eden Hazard. He absolutely
So
But-
stole
Hazard,
one.
yeah.
But one thing I will say about Eden Hazard, fair play to him. What he's done, what he said after the game, like he actually spoke. Not after the game, sorry, at the parade, he spoke to the fans, and basically, for me, I felt it was heartfelt. Like whatever happens, whoever they are, you don't wish players to. Careers to go as bad as he's had due to injury. And he said he's going to try his hardest to get back. But one person I have got a problem with in this Champions League final is Danny Ceballos.
2-1
He
Ukraine.
lost me money. Ceballos, you fucking idiot.
Oh, granny
So,
run. A granny
I
run.
had 28-1 with a tenner on it for Real Madrid to win and Ceballos to score. 90th minute, Ceballos is free. He should score. Like, if he don't score, like even I could score that, and I can't see. Like, and he does an Arsenal. He done an Arsenal. Like, he passed it. I was like, what are you doing? Don't pass. But so if you're watching, Danny, you owe me money. So
Mate, he was institutionalized by Mikel Arteta's squad, so he was
no,
taught to
don't
pass.
you dare blame Arteta.
He was taught to pass
No.
and move, pass and
No,
move.
he learnt that from the other fraud.
Who's that? Unai.
Yeah.
Nah, don't blame Unai.
I'll blame bloody.
He's
yellow
doing well for
submarine
himself.
Weirdo. No,
He's
but
doing well
like,
for himself. Man.
no, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was at Ceballos. I went, oh, I'm in the money here. And then
You are.
no, I wasn't. So
It's Danny Ceballos. What do you expect?
and Danny
Right.
Ceballos has won 2 Champions League. What the hell? What sort of planet am I on? I've watched Danny Ceballos play week in, week out. And he can do absolute nothing. The only thing he's done was score a goal against Sheffield United in the FA Cup, and I think he scored a goal against Burnley. So he's a G. He's a G for that. But Ceballos, I tell you, like the Spanish police should investigate Real Madrid because the amount of players that have robbed the Champions League winners' medal at that club is unbelievable. You got
Mate, Nacho Monreal. Oh, no, it's not Nacho Monreal. Just Nacho, I think. He's got like 5 of them.
yeah, like you
I
think
don't
Rory Bale, like how he's got one. Who's the other one? Hazard, Isco. Like what's that? Melt get a bloody medal. He don't even know where the training
Sensio's got a
ground
few
is.
now. Danny Carvajal, he's to be fair, Danny Carvajal's cool.
Yeah,
keep
like-
on, but-
What's going to happen
Go on.
next? What? Oh, Ben Foster going to sign for Real Madrid as a third choice goalkeeper and think, I'll get an easy Champions League medal here.
Mm.
No, but fair play to Real Madrid. They've done what they had to do. Vinny, quality player. It's nice to see him actually doing his bits. I actually thought that the midfielder played really, really well, and he set the goal up. I can't think of his name. I'm completely out of my head. The what? Not Modric, the other one.
Casemiro?
Cruz.
Yeah, that's it.
Which one? Casemiro.
Casemiro. Yeah, him. So he played quite well, and Modric won the Champions League, then signed a new deal. It's not too bad, is it?
And Marcelo left.
We have-
He got to lift the Champions League trophy, even though Benzema was supposed to lift it.
But I
He's
think
supposed to get the Ballon d'Or now, probably. He should get the Ballon d'Or unless he gets robbed by Messi.
I
or
did
something.
see Victoria's telling me today that they was talking about people like with the Ballon d'Or,
Mm.
and they said, and it's you might find it funny or you might not, but like
Go on.
someone wrote on Twitter that Paul Pogba's just won the Salon d'Or.
Probably. Probably. He's very stylish with his haircut, so yeah,
so
give him
right.
that.
But fair play to Madrid. Like it shows that really that experience does get you, but gets you further. Like everyone thought. Like I did see Jamie Carragher lost his bet because he said that Real Madrid weren't going to win. So
He said that in the round of 16 when he was talking about after the PSG match. He was like, "This Real
Yeah.
Madrid team won't win the Champions League, no
yeah,
chance."
so,
And then 2 seconds later, bang.
if you notice that, whenever everyone says who's going to not win it, they go and win it. Like
This is-
Chelsea
this
that
is the
year, we
thing.
said no chance.
Yeah,
They win
basically, you can never really predict it. It goes
So when
always funny
Arsenal eventually get back there in about 20 years, if they say
eventually.
Arsenal got no chance, then we've got a good chance.
Well, they say that every year they were in it, though, don't they? So
That's the thing. Hit.
When were Watford last in it?
probably never. But
Yeah,
when you're a
exactly.
Watford fan, you don't expect to win, do you?
The only
So-
thing that makes your club famous is that you got Elton John in the chair.
well, it could be worse, couldn't it?
Elton, I'm a rocky man.
It's a
No,
shame though,
I-
because the managers look at him and the managers talk to Elton, and you know what he says back to him? He says, "That's all right, because I'm still standing. You're not."
I'm still standing. Yeah.
What's the comment, Austin? Before we talk about our little
So
Watford
the comment is from one of my friends. Yes, I do have friends.
You've got a
Yeah.
friend.
Yes, I have friends.
Ooh,
Yes.
yeah.
It's,
How much you pay him?
no, this is like one of my very very close friends. I would literally do anything for
comment?
this girl.
Who is it?
Literally anything.
Oh,
Her name's
yeah.
Angel.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Angel.
Her name's Angel. She's
One bad girl.
she said,
That's
"Hi,
Di
how is?"
Maria.
No, not Di Maria. She said, "How is everyone?" She wants to know how everyone is. So yeah,
Surviving Angel,
Oh,
being
good,
Austin's
thank you.
brother, but you know what it's like.
yeah. So
We're good. We're good.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
so-
Well,
But fair
Right.
play, Hala Madrid. Even I didn't
Viva
know he
Madrid.
played for 'em, but
Hala Madrid. Listen, I just thought of this off the top of my head. Quick game before we wrap things up. Early, very early, extremely early Champions League winner predictions for 2023. Hubert, let's start with you.
Oh, Christ.
you're right.
Go on. Real Madrid. Retain it.
Real Madrid, okay.
he sounded
Johnny?
like it was like,
I thought he was going to do. Has anyone seen the Harry Potter films?
Yes.
yes.
I
I
have,
thought he was
yeah.
going to go Ripper.
Clench your buttocks, fasten your seatbelt.
Go on, Johnny.
Bomb
Who's
killer.
the early
My
prediction?
prediction: Pep's final year at City, probably.
No.
Man City to win it.
Disgusting.
Get him out.
George?
Get out of here.
Man United. Oh no, sorry. Forgot.
Right.
Sorry,
Don't worry, we'll be in Budapest anyway, so it's calm.
They're losing.
Didn't ask you,
Man
right?
United Villarreal in the final.
Who do I think they're going to win
Fuck
the Champions
Villarreal.
League?
They're not even in Europe.
I thought they were. I thought they
Who
were.
do
I don't
they're
think
gonna
they
win the Champions League.
Arsenal are going to win Europa League.
Arsenal are going to win the
You gotta
Champions
guarantee that,
League.
Austin.
I said,
We
shut up, Austin.
got
Keep your mouth
Super
firmly
Super
shut when it comes to anything to do with Arsenal.
He knows
Oh,
exactly what you
exactly
need.
what we need.
Do you want me to give my prediction or not?
Arsenal will win
Arsenal going to win the
the
Champions League.
Europa
Go on.
The
League.
worst timing. The timing is terrible.
Sorry,
on
go
your
on, George.
statement. Please make it stop.
Billy
I don't know what you're
Mega
joking
Chicken.
about. I already
Shut
said
up!
it. I already said it about Arsenal Europa League. I said it ages ago.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. No, I say Champions League. Yeah. Go on.
Champions League. I actually think it's quite hard. I don't think there's a team that's going to like.
It is difficult.
As I said, it's a very, very early prediction. The
No,
1
no,
year
but
from
even
today,
even
if we
like,
if
in
we
the
fast
summer-
forward a year, the final still wouldn't have happened. It's on the 10th of June next year.
Oh wow.
What
The Europa
was
League
date?
final would have been yesterday.
All my trouble seems so far away. Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go for. I actually don't know.
We are everything.
Shut up!
Austin, I swear, if I was
Otherwise, you'll be
producer, I'd-
banned from the next show.
You love it.
No, we would because we've got more than one producer now. So,
No, you ain't.
Your prediction
Anyway.
anyway.
Probably. Barcelona.
Oh,
No.
All right. Good.
Abdi.
Austin,
Considering
go
they
on.
buy half of Chelsea's defence.
Probably. Austin.
Who are you guaranteeing to win the Champions League?
You'd probably say someone like bloody Dean
I don't want to say who's going to win the Champions League.
Well, you have to.
But
It's a
So we're
prediction.
asking you, so you're gonna have to.
Uh,
It's the game. Go on. Give us a name.
Okay.
Goodbye, Scotland. Game over.
Hang on. How does Champions League work, actually? Can Real Madrid
What do you
be
mean
in
how
it
does
again?
it work?
Wait, can Real
Yeah, of
Madrid
course
be
they
in it
will.
again? Right, they can.
Yeah.
Of course
I
they will.
always
They're
thought-
champions of
I always-
Spain and champions of Europe.
No,
Why
I
do you
always
think
thought
they
that
do?
if you win, I always thought for some reason if you win the Champions League, you can't be in it the following season.
No.
know why.
Yeah,
Who
basically,
Real
that's
Madrid
what
have
happened.
won a
That's
few
why
Champions
Arsenal
Leagues in a
went
row,
for
are you?
because we won it every year.
So,
Champions League,
anyway,
Real Madrid won it a few
uh,
times, 2 seasons in a
I think
row.
it's just going to be. I think it's going to be Real Madrid again.
Boring.
Yeah, that's a bit boring.
What do you think?
Right.
Who do you think then? Bloody hell.
He said
I think
Man
Barcelona.
City.
Yeah. Thanks for
And
listening.
George said Barcelona.
Juventus.
Abdi.
No,
No.
Juventus won.
PSG.
Okay, my
I'll go for
prediction.
PSG. I'll go for PSG.
Okay, yeah, disgusting.
Boring.
Tottenham Hotspur.
What?
I just
What?
want to
Are
see
you
what
fucking
Tottenham
serious?
Well, to be
I,
fair,
I
Okay.
highly doubt Tottenham Hotspur win it.
Abdi,
I
If you ask
guarantee
me,
you that now, if that happens, I
I'm
am
kidding you.
quitting everything.
yeah,
do you know?
okay.
No.
Do you know what the funny thing is? I actually had a dream not too long ago that Tottenham Hotspur won the Champions League
That's
against
not a dream,
Villarreal.
bruv. That's a
For
You
nightmare.
had a dream.
For some
had a
reason, it was
dream.
against Villarreal as well, and it was like a
You had-
3-0 win.
Right,
You had a
I
dream
will say
about
this live
Tottenham
on
Hotspur.
YouTube. Put a
That's not a
gun to
dream.
my head if that ever happens. Like that would.
Okay.
I can't deal with that. Their
Abdi,
fans.
that's not a
are so-
dream.
Shut up. Their fans are
Not for you.
so obsessed with finishing in the top 4. If they actually won something relevant like that, oh my god, it'd be
The
like
world
having
would come to an end.
a love child between Donald Trump and Boris Johnson rubbed in your face. No, no, it's not happening. Abdi.
Thing is,
It's
then
not
afterwards-
happening.
Thing is, then afterwards they would finally have something over you. Like
That was
genuinely.
me
over
thinking
you.
you're actually going to make a realistic prediction.
Abdi, get on
Yeah.
with the show.
I'll give you
Never
a
hosting
realistic one
again.
then.
Abdi, come on.
Okay.
I've got places to
I'll
be.
give you a realistic one.
Disgrace
I
yourself.
think I don't like to say it, but I think Liverpool bounce back.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyone but them.
That's fine, yeah. I'll take
Let's
that.
Tottenham win it.
No,
Abdi.
No, they will not.
I'm not even engaged.
Come on, Abdi.
Yeah,
Move on.
All right, that's
Abdi,
fine.
Abdi.
Anyway, let's wrap it up. Have
You're
we got any
sending
Down to
comments
the
before we wrap
jungle
up?
if that happens.
You're
Abdi.
sending George into a mental
No,
state.
George is going to go to somewhere in the back arse of Africa if that happens.
Yeah, I
You
am.
won't see
Right,
George.
no,
He's not off the grid.
There's a jungle place that during World War II, when just about
Oh,
5
history.
years after it, the Japanese soldiers still thought the war was going on because there was just no way of life. That will be me. If Tottenham Hotspur win the Champions League, I am going as far away as possible I'm going to live with the polar bears. I'm going to go and live with Rupert and everything. I'm not having it. No, it's not happening.
I mean,
I
I
would
wouldn't
rather
say it's
see Burnley win the
impossible.
Champions League than that.
Hey, we
Abdi,
all love to see Burnley win the Champions
I think-
League. Yeah.
I
Anyway,
think I need to clip
comments.
this. I need to clip that.
Okay,
Comments?
probably
Burnley to win the Champions League. Bloody hell, it'd be 50 years late.
Burnley to win the Champions League. Go on, comments.
Time capsule. No comments.
No comments. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We have dived into everything, and there's probably a lot more that we could have talked about, but I think we've
Abdi's
beaten
ruined
the
the whole
stick
show
over
now
the
saying that shit.
probably, kind of. But, you know, Johnny said Man City to win the Champions League.
I
That's
don't
like-
care about that, but Tottenham Hotspur.
Well, you don't, but, like, we all have our own different
Tottenham, bro.
enemies, you know?
Oh God.
Hey.
They are
Come on,
like
carry on.
Putin to me.
Due to,
Oh my God.
I
okay,
just had a Spurs fan
Listen,
message
they
me back.
got
saying
to the
he
Champions
can't-
League
he's
final
still
in
laughing at
2019.
you.
Yeah, it's never happens. I
No,
want
I've
to
just
say they'll win
actually
it.
got a message from Daniel Levy, and he says he'd like to
Daniel.
employ Abdullahi as his PR manager.
Oh, that's
No,
fine.
good pay, good pay.
As long as he's paying me good money, then
Told you
sure.
won't be
Could you
able to
imagine-
pay, never spent
Could you
any money.
imagine that? Could you imagine Abdi? Like honestly, could you imagine Abdi as PR manager? He'd be sitting how he's sitting now in his Man United hat and his Man United scarf, trying to tell people that Tottenham will be champions. Like,
Anyway,
My God.
I said,
More
I
That's
said,
delusional
right,
than
though,
the
just
Port.
in
Listen,
case
I said
Jack's
I said it
watching,
'cause
I
I
think
knew- I
Italy have
knew-
been battered. So,
what?
I think Italy have just been battered.
By who? Argentina?
Yeah.
They
Scotland
have,
won-
happy days.
Scotland lost 2-0.
3-1.
They have.
Was it
Probably
3-1?
crying in his. I don't know. But yes.
Stick your curly pasta up. Yeah, go on. End of show.
End of show. Anyway, thank you for watching. We've done everything that we could have in this game.
Socials.
What?
Spurs. to
Socials.
win the Champions League.
Socials. Yes, I know the socials. We'll go through the socials. But yes, thank you for this. I'll do my job. Shush.
I love that.
Everybody
very
shut
subtle-
up.
I love the
Just
subtle
shut
hit
up.
from George there.
Argentina beat Italy. 3-0.
Austin, please, shush. No one cares about the games anymore. They can go. They've got Google. They can search it up. Listen. Anyway, thank you for watching all the shows that we've done over the past season, with the Premier League shows, domestic shows, the FA Cup shows, Champions League shows, all of the shows. Go back, like, share, subscribe, get those followers up, everything. Get on our Twitter machine, @OfficialWestmania, Instagram, Linktree is there. You can go to Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, Discord, wherever. You can find Sportsmania everywhere. That goodness, that juicy Sportsmania goodness. Come and join us. Come join the community. Georgie boy, where can the good people of Sportsmania find you?
Wherever they want. No, so you can find me at Clockend George, and I'm on quite a few YouTube channels. So over here, Cannon
Whore.
Chatter.
Sorry.
What?
Nothing.
He called
me a
you.
whore.
He called you. He called you a whore. You can also find him in the North Pole.
And as long as it's with a capital W.
It is.
Right, yeah, Cannon Chatter, Lead Judges TV, or North Bank Summit here. So yeah, anyway. And if
Yeah.
you want to, feel free if you want to come on to this show to listen to some of the rubbish we talk and give your own opinions. You're always
Yeah,
more than welcome.
we absolutely waffle on this channel, so you know.
Don't
join
say
us.
that word. That's a code
Ah,
word.
Sorry. Hubert, where could the good
I like
people
the word
find you, my
waffle.
friend?
I like the
Dude,
word.
okay. We can find me at Subsonics UK. That's SUBSONIX UK. You can also find me on my tech podcast that I do called VI Sound and Vision, which
Yeah,
give that a
but
go as
about
well.
time you advertise it.
yeah.
Cheeky little plug there. Austin, Mr.
Alright.
Triple L in your surname. Go on,
Triple Own House.
drop it on us.
No thanks.
Okay. Okay.
Hey.
Aye.
Ah,
You can also find George in the North Pole if Tottenham win the Champions League. So I guess that's one
Which is
place
never
you'll
gonna
find
happen.
That's not far enough.
All right, we'll do a series. We're finding George.
him. Instead of where's Wally, where's George?
So we'll
Uh,
find them.
Anyway, my socials is at Sullivan Austin SULLIVAN or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is called PlayStation
shit.
Unlimited, which is called PlayStation Unlimited. where I play mainly FIFA and whatnot, which I'll be getting back
Can I
to
ask you a
soon.
question about that YouTube channel?
Yes.
You play PlayStation?
No, I play Xbox. What do you expect?
Oh,
Yes, I play
I
PlayStation.
was just double checking. Really.
Oh, right, thank you.
Didn't
Right,
give it away in
Johnny.
the name or anything.
Johnny boy, cheers for coming on once again.
Johnny,
Thank
yes.
you. You're more
Yeah,
than
it's
welcome
been
to
good
come
fun.
back
I've
again.
enjoyed it.
And if you want to follow Johnny,
Would you
you
like
will
to say
find
anything?
him somewhere.
You can find me somewhere, but not on Twitter.
His name's Johnny Rotten on Facebook.
Johnny, yes, Papa.
All right. And if you do want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at
He's boring, though.
Abdullahi. Well, no, I said that wrong. At
you got it
Abdullahi26
right.
on the Twitter machine at AABDULLAHI26. All right.
What's the 2-6 stand?
So yes, thank
His
you
age.
everyone for
His
watching
age.
once again. I think we'll be back Friday if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
we are for the international show, and I'll be back hosting.
Friday? Yeah, international show. Yes, Friday
yeah.
international show. Come back. Hubert will be in the hot seat this time. I might be here. We'll see. Who knows? But anyway, thank you very much. Enjoy your evening and good night, people.
Good night, people. And
Good
remember,
morning,
go
good
Binley
afternoon,
Mega
and
Chippy.
good night.
Viva Madrid.
Shout out to Binley Mega Chippy.
No.
Is England's priceless gem!